Welcome to SkillSpotlight, a youth led workshop series within the Skills to Sustain program. Today's workshop focuses on digital strategy and transformation, a skill that helps organizations use technology, innovation, and strategic thinking to improve operations, solve problems, and create positive impact. To help us explore this topic, we are joined by Geraldine Esemezie from RBC, a technology and transformation leader with more than 17 years of experience leading enterprise wide initiatives in organizational change. Instead of me going into her full background, I'll hand it over to her so she can introduce herself and share her experiences directly with our viewers. Hello, Geraldine, and thanks for being with us here today. Could you tell us about your professional background and what first inspired you to pursue a career in technology and transformation?
Well, great question. So really for me, I started up my career not in technology, incidentally. I started up in microbiology, but I've always, as a young girl, I've always had this desire to be in technology. Maybe it's just something that I always used to get inspiration from my dad. I watched him go to the work every day as was in corporate work, and I did enjoy going to the office with him. So for everything around technology always fascinated me, when he's in the office. And so really for me, my career journey began, has been centered around digital transformation as I got into technology. So looking into like technology strategy, innovation, what we could do to bring about, stronger business outcomes to help business teams to achieve their strategic goals. Those are things that inspire me. So for me, really, I look at ways to solve complex problems, improve lives, create opportunities for organizations and communities. And I've always been fascinated with how technology drives meaningful outcomes for teams, for people.
Mhm.
So that's it really for me in technology.
Now that we've introduced today's topic and our guest speaker, we're going to begin with our first learning layer knowledge. Every new skill starts with understanding what it is and why it matters. Before we can appreciate how digital strategy and transformation creates value within organizations, it's important that we first build a strong foundation of knowledge. When many people hear the word digital, they immediately think about computers, software, or artificial intelligence. While technology is certainly an important part of this field, digital strategy and transformation is about much more than simply using digital tools. It's about thinking strategically, identifying opportunities for improvement, solving complex problems, and helping organizations adapt to an ever changing world. Today, organizations across every industry are facing new challenges. Customer expectations are changing, technology continues to evolve, and businesses need to become more innovative, efficient, and resilient than ever before. That's why professionals who understand digital strategy are becoming increasingly valuable. They help organizations embrace change, improve the way they operate, and create better experiences for employees, customers, and communities. As we begin our conversation with Geraldine, I'd like you to think about the role technology already plays in your own life. Whether it's how your school communicates with students, how you shop online, or even how your favorite apps continue to improve over time, someone is making strategic decisions about how technology can create a better experience. In this first section, we'll learn what digital strategy and transformation really means, why organizations continue to invest in it, and what knowledge and skills someone should begin developing if they're interested in pursuing a career in this exciting and rapidly growing field. With that in mind, let's hear from Geraldine. To start us off, how would you explain digital strategy and transformation to students and early career professionals?
Digital strategy and transformation. Good question. So really for to me, digital strategy and transformation is really about using technology to solve real business problems and to create better experience for customers and employees. It's not just about um, adopting the latest technology. It's about thinking how an organization works so that it can be more efficient, more innovative and prepared for the future. So, look at what exactly is your digital strategy for your organization. Where do you guys want to be? Where do you want to take your services to? How do you want to innovate and evolve your services? Of course, whilst maintaining that strong digital presence and safety. So, yeah,
And now for question two. Why has digital strategy and transformation become so important for organizations today?
great question. Yeah. So technology is evolving faster than ever, and customer expectations continues to rise. We have more and more sophisticated customers today. So organizations that fail to adapt risk being, risk falling behind. Not being able to meet your customer expectation because customers today are more aware. Everyone is just AI. Everyone are informed to a great extent, as to what they expect from their services, and when you don't deliver those, then your customer satisfaction starts to get impacted. So really, digital strategy and transformation will help businesses, improve focus on how they improve productivity, how you strengthen your cybersecurity, how you make better decisions using data, and how you reduce costs, how you remain competitive. So really, today it's no longer a nice to have. Technology is no longer a nice to have. It's essential for long-term success.
Moving on to our third question here. If someone is interested in this field, what are the key areas of knowledge or skills they should focus on developing?
Okay, so for me, I would say you need to start by building a strong foundation in technology, or not just technology, in business and problem solving. Some key areas you could consider would include things around, building your skills in digital technologies such as like AI, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and data analytics. Like for most organizations, everyone tends to focus their decisions tend to be more data driven. So the more you grow your data analytics skills, cybersecurity, cloud computing, AI, that's very key. That will set you up for success. And also, apart from the core technical skills, you can consider things like project management and change management. Those would definitely help you to, to build careers successful in those areas. You can look at business strategy and process improvement. Build skills in those areas. Take courses on those areas. You need to develop your communication and leadership skills. That is very key to driving strategy and building your critical thinking skills, and of course continuous learning. You need to continue to understand in the industry you're working, your organization, for the problem your organization is solving, and how you can use technology to solve those problems. So these are areas that you definitely want to continue to improve your knowledge on. So and then know that you don't need to know everything from day one. So curiosity and a willingness to keep learning is just as important as the technical knowledge itself. So you build your knowledge, you continue to grow your skills, and you learn every day because really technology is evolving. So you have to develop that continuous learning culture.
Thank you, Geraldine, for sharing those valuable insights and for giving us a behind the scenes look at how digital strategy and transformation is applied in the workplace. One of the things that really stood out to me from this conversation is that successful transformation isn't simply about introducing new technology. It's about recognizing opportunities for improvement, understanding the needs of people, and finding thoughtful, innovative ways to solve problems. Whether you're working in a global organization, a small business, or even a student club, that way of thinking can make a real difference. Now, I'd like to turn the conversation over to all of you. One of the best ways to develop any skill is to begin applying it to situations you're already familiar with. You don't have to wait until you're working in a corporate office to start thinking like a digital strategist. In fact, many of the same problem solving skills can be practiced in your everyday life. Take a moment to think about a school, a community organization, a workplace, a volunteer position, or even a sports team or club that you're involved with. Think about the routines or processes that happen on a regular basis. Maybe attendance is still taken manually. Maybe information is shared through multiple group chats that become difficult to keep track of. Maybe volunteers struggle to coordinate schedules, or event registration takes longer than it should. There are countless examples where technology could simplify a process, improve communication, or help people work together more effectively. With those ideas in mind, here's our reflection question. What is one process that could be improved using technology or digital tools? Take about a minute to think about your answer. Don't worry about whether your idea is big or small. Sometimes the most impactful innovations begin with improving a simple everyday task. If you're joining us virtually, we'd love for you to share your ideas in the chat or comments. If you're here with us today, we'll invite a few volunteers to tell us what they came up with and why they think their idea could make a positive difference. Remember, there isn't one right answer. The goal of this activity is to begin developing the mindset of someone who looks for opportunities, asks thoughtful questions, and thinks creatively about how technology and innovation can improve experiences for others. Now that we've developed a solid understanding of what digital strategy and transformation is, let's move into our second learning layer, application. Understanding a skill is one thing, but seeing how it's applied in real world situations helps us appreciate its true value. Every day, organizations are looking for ways to improve the services they provide, simplify complicated processes, and respond more effectively to changing customer needs. Digital transformation helps make those improvements possible. However, successful transformation isn't just about introducing new technology. In fact, some of the biggest challenges organizations face have very little to do with technology itself. They involve people, communication, leadership, and managing change. Even the most innovative digital solution won't succeed unless employees understand it, leaders support it, and teams work together to implement it effectively. As Geraldine shares her experiences, pay attention to how technology and leadership work together. Notice how strategic planning, collaboration, and communication all contribute to successful transformation projects. These are transferable skills that you'll use throughout your education and future career, regardless of the industry you choose. As you're listening, I'd also encourage you to think about your own experiences. Is there a process at your school, in your community organization, or even at a part time job that feels outdated or inefficient? Could technology make that process easier, faster, or more accessible? After this section, we'll take a few moments to reflect on those ideas together. But first, let's hear how Geraldine has applied digital strategy and transformation throughout her career. To transition into our application segment, we'll begin by asking Geraldine an important question. Can you walk us through an example of a project where digital transformation helped improve how an organization performs?
There's so many examples I can share around that. But one example is with implementing modern identity and authentication solutions to replace the traditional password-based access. Because I'm in cybersecurity, and within cybersecurity, I'm in identity and access management. And imagine identities for me, right? I'm in the process of transforming password-based authentication into passwordless. So I'm driving that strong project right now. And then so going from password-based authentication to passwordless, that's all about transformation. That's all about improving all the work we do around that digital strategy and innovating the way we do things and cybersecurity. So that is one key project I'm working on. So by introducing more secure and user-friendly authentication methods, we improve the employee experience while significantly strengthening security, because like if you're saying passwordless technology here, they will avoid the risks of someone's password being hacked, or people writing that their passwords in, or memorizing the password, sharing it with somebody. But if it's passwordless, with passwordless, most times it's with biometric authentication, so which it cannot be faked or intercepted by fraudulent actors. So the result was fewer support. The result of this project was really fewer support calls to the help desk, because now you don't have people calling in to do password resets when they forget their passwords. Faster access to business applications, because you're logging in with passwordless authentication, and then lower operational cost and reduced cybersecurity risk. So it demonstrates how the right technology can improve both business performance and customer experience.
Next, we'll move into our fifth question, which is the second question in our application segment. Your experience. What are some of the most common challenges organizations face when trying to implement digital change?
From my perspective, the biggest challenge is usually not the technology itself, but it's helping people embrace the change. So that's why whenever you're implementing most of these technological changes, you have to ensure that there's some attention is given to organizational change management. You need to ensure that your users are fully ready for this change. To understand what is changing, why it is changing, what impact to have on them, and then what is the benefit of the change. People always want to know, what is in it for me? Why should I do things differently? So it's been sure that you're ready to walk them through this change and ensure that you get buy-in from leadership. Ensure you have sponsors. So employees may worry about learning new systems or changing familiar ways of working, and that's why successful transformation requires clear communication, strong leadership, ensure you have sponsorship, proper training of the employees, and then ongoing support. Let the employees know that they would get the support they need as we transform our systems, our processes, our technology, and they will support it through. When people understand the why behind the change, they are much more able to accept the change and likely to support it.
How important are communication, leadership, and collaboration when it comes to successful transformation initiatives?
These are often the deciding factors between success and failure. Leaders provide vision and direction. Communication builds understanding and trust. Collaboration brings people together from different teams to solve complex problems. Technology projects succeed when everyone works towards the same goal and understands how their contribution supports the bigger picture. So again, in driving this kind of big changes, ensure that cross-functional teams are involved. They understand their role and they understand the vision and the goal we're all trying to achieve. When there's a shared goal and common understanding, the teams are most likely to be successful.
Thank you again for sharing your experiences and showing us just how broad and transferable digital strategy and transformation really is. Throughout today's workshop, we've explored what this skill is, how it's applied in organizations, and why it's becoming increasingly valuable across almost every industry. Whether someone works in banking, healthcare, education, government, manufacturing, retail, or the nonprofit sector, the ability to think strategically, embrace innovation, and lead positive change is becoming an essential part of the future of work. But perhaps the most important lesson from today's discussion is that digital strategy and transformation isn't reserved for technology professionals. It's a mindset that anyone can develop. It's about looking at a challenge, asking whether there's a better way to do something, and then using creativity, collaboration, and technology to make that improvement a reality. Before we conclude today's workshop, I'd like to leave you with one final reflection that encourages you to think beyond today's discussion and consider how you might apply these ideas in your own life. Think about a project, initiative, organization, or cause that you're passionate about. It might be something happening at your school, a community program you volunteer with, a small business idea you've been thinking about, or perhaps an environmental or social issue that matters to you. Now ask yourself this question: how could digital strategy or technology help make that project more effective or create a greater positive impact? We've now explored what digital strategy and transformation is and how it's applied in the workplace. Our final learning layer focuses on one of the most exciting aspects of the skill. One of the biggest misconceptions about digital transformation is that it only applies to technology companies or people working in IT. In reality, nearly every industry today depends on professionals who can think strategically, solve problems, manage change, and use technology to improve outcomes. Whether you're interested in healthcare, education, engineering, government, environmental sustainability, finance, entrepreneurship, or nonprofit organizations, these same skills continue to grow in importance. Organizations everywhere are becoming more digital, more data driven, and more connected than ever before. Another important connection we'll explore is the relationship between digital strategy and transformation and sustainability. Technology has become an important tool for helping organizations reduce waste, improve efficiency, make smarter decisions, and create long term value for both people and the planet. Digital innovation isn't just changing businesses. It's helping address some of the world's biggest social and environmental challenges. As you listen to Geraldine's final responses, I'd like you to think about your own future. What industries interest you? What problems would you like to solve? And how might strategic thinking, innovation, and technology help you create positive change in your school, workplace, community, or even on a global scale? Let's continue our conversation as Geraldine shares her perspective on how these skills can open doors across industries and create opportunities for the next generation of leaders. From your perspective, how does digital strategy and transformation play a role in helping organizations achieve their sustainability goals?
Digital technologies help organizations operate more efficiently while reducing their environmental impact. So, for example, cloud technologies, automation, things like digital documents or remote collaboration and AI, all these things they're digital, right? So they help reduce paper usage. They help you can manage your energy consumption. You can reduce travel with remote working and being online, being having strong digital presence. There is really no need for face-to-face collaboration most times. And you can also reduce operational waste when you think about people commuting or people having to walk over to another building or office in order to see some support person to work on the user system. The fact that we can all work remotely, that we can all leverage digital documents, automation to get things done, then that actually helps in that impacts the environment positively and helps us in driving our sustainability goals really. Okay. So I'll just sort of say that your technology is really becoming a very powerful enabler for both business growth and environmental responsibility.
Outside of banking, which industries do you see being most impacted or reshaped by this skill?
Oh wow. Almost every industry is undergoing digital transformation today. Everyone has an online presence. It's only with online presence that a musician can be seen and are connected with by people globally. So really, like health cases uses it to improve patient care. Manufacturing leverages automation and smart factories. Government delivers more efficient public services digitally because it can reach more people with their online presence. And retail creates personalized customer experiences. You'll send like the loyalty offers that goes out to customers. They have their online stores, they have their online promotions. So all this helps in, driving customer experience. And then education expands access through digital learning. There are lots of computer-based courses now. People do their MBAs, do courses online, get their certifications online. So that, and then with its online courses, it has a global outreach, right? And then transportation, energy, telecommunication, agriculture, all are becoming increasingly technology driven. So really, digital transformation is no longer industry specific. It is shaping the future of every sector.
Finally, what advice would you give to students or young professionals who want to build a career in digital strategy and transformation?
Great question. My advice would be just stay curious. Never stop learning. Make time to learn something every day. You listen to people, listen to news, study, learn a new skill, look up what is happening in certain field. Just never stop learning. Always be open to learning and keep learning. And then as you learn, apply what you learned because applying those, that's what gets the skill, imbibed in you. You understand it better when you all actually practice it. So build a strong foundation in technology, but also develop your communication skills, your teamwork and leadership skills. Learn how businesses operate because technology only creates value when it solves real life problems. Okay, so don't wait until you're an expert before you get involved. Just start now. Find things to start doing. And then gradually keep improving your skills. Volunteer for projects, and earn certifications. Look for all certifications, online certifications, study. write the certification exams and get certified. Try to practice what you studied. Seek mentors, reach out to mentors, go on LinkedIn and, find mentors you can reach out to. I know you can reach out to some don't have the time, but don't, don't, keep searching, don't stop. You could, reach out to several people and you never know. One or two or three may have the time for you. So seek out mentors. And apart from online, you go attend networking event, get to meet people wherever you go and try to make connections, seek mentors who provide you support and insight as to how things work and will coach you on how to, really improve your skills and, how to also channel your career. And embrace challenges. And there'll be challenges along the way as you get into the workforce or as they're trying to get a job. But there will be challenges, but you need to, step up and be, ready to embrace those challenges and break through it. Keep pushing hard, right? Every experience helps you to grow. You understand? And finally, remember that the most successful technology professionals aren't just experts in technology, they are trusted problem solvers. People who can connect with people who can innovate and be able to provide business outcomes that make meaningful impact. Okay, whatever we're doing, we're trying to solve problems. We're trying to impact our society, our economy. The areas where we serve. So as long as you're able to solve problems for people, leveraging technology, then the work you do is impactful. So focus on all those and keep working hard.
Thank you so much, Geraldine, for taking the time to share your knowledge, experiences, and career journey with us. I think one of the biggest takeaways from today's conversation is that digital strategy and transformation isn't just about technology. It's about using technology with purpose to solve problems, improve organizations, and create positive impact for people and communities. Let's take a moment to reflect on some of the key ideas we've discussed. As we've learned today, digital strategy and transformation is a future ready skill that sits within the technology and digital innovation sector. It combines strategic thinking, business knowledge, technology, leadership, and communication to help organizations adapt, innovate, and achieve their goals. What's especially exciting about this skill is that it's highly transferable. While Geraldine applies these skills in the banking industry, the same knowledge and abilities are equally valuable in healthcare, education, government, manufacturing, retail, nonprofit organizations, and many other sectors undergoing digital transformation. The core competencies we've explored today include strategic thinking, problem solving, innovation, collaboration, communication, leadership, adaptability, and continuous learning. These are all skills that employers increasingly value regardless of the career path you choose. As you think about your own future, consider how these skills could help you make a difference, whether that's in your school, your workplace, your community, or even through launching your own ideas and initiatives. Thank you for joining the Skills Spotlight session. We'd like to thank Geraldine Esemezie for sharing her experience and insights. As you continue your skills to sustain journey, consider how technology, innovation, and strategic thinking can help create positive change in your school, workplace, community, and the world around you.